lane against him. And just all that stun. Seems like these teams are ignoring Coddle as well. I don't like that hero.
Yeah, they have also, neither of them have played it in their game so far.
Do you think that it's too risky to pick Ember Spirit this early, Bulldog? Because a lot of teams kind of leave that for the last pick. They kind of rotate around with that a little bit. I mean, opening up with Ember, aren't there plenty of heroes that can really tear him apart?
I mean, if you get a lot of lockdown, it is really hard for him to play, which we've seen a lot of times, but I guess it's just they're really confident with it. They practice it, and they have a player who loves to play it. So you just get it. And when you have the Prophet available as well, you just can guarantee he's going to have a good lane, which is kind of his weakness for a long time, that he has struggles in the lane, he falls behind, and he can't really do what he wants. But with the Prophet, he's going to get that decent lane, or even good, and just going to go ham.
Turn to pick.
Ursa. Elder Titan. Okay. Sure. That worked out okay last time we saw Elder Titan, right? But I mean, it wasn't amazing. I'm certainly not excited by the pick.
No. And with that Elder Titan pick, so for Mineski, Febby and Paladai both play Elder Titan. For the Nature's Prophet, it's either Paladai or KP that's gonna play it. And I feel like this kind of
5 seconds remain.
I don't know, it gives it more chance for KP to be the one playing the Nature's Prophet. And I'm personally not that big of a fan of a Core Prophet.
Yeah.
Sheep.
I'm sorry.
It's not like Core Prophet.
Mineski's turn to
Monkey King.
Oh, Monkey King. Okay. There's a damage dealer coming out here.
Hey, and Prophet with the Sprout, it can really be annoying to Monkey King. So that's already
With the
counter
Sprout,
there.
it's good for Monkey, because you put the trees and the Monkey can jump on them.
No. You put the trees, which destroys the trees that Monkey King's on.
That's
that's-
the
You're
trees.
destroying trees with more trees, though.
Yeah, but he will get
You mean the
stunned.
trees that are alive?
remaining.
What?
It is spawn the trees. The live trees.
Yeah, but if Monkey King is sitting in a tree,
Yeah.
and you put the Sprout on him, or on the bunch of trees that is there, you'll stun him.
What?
Now Sprout is the circle of tree, Shiver. Then
Yeah,
you
but
just
if
see
you
him.
put the circle of... I mean
The
spawn
trees don't
treants!
destroy
I mean
trees.
spawn treants!
That's right, Shiver.
That's two very different stuff. We were
helping
arguing.
Come on,
trees.
you know what I meant!
You're giving
I
me
didn't
more
know.
trees.
You know what I meant. Don't be mean.
All right, let's talk about J-Storm, though, for a sec here. All right? They go for that Ember Spirit early. And where's the lockdown still for J-Storm? You got a Rubik lift, which is garbage. Then you go for a carry like Monkey King. I mean, good luck getting Ember Spirit to stand in that ult for very long.
Yeah.
Does Split Earth still destroy trees as well?
Well, it stops him from being in the trees, at least.
Yeah.
Monkey King.
10
I don't know if it
seconds
stuns him.
remaining.
Slacks knows that, right?
Absolutely, it does
5
indeed
seconds remaining.
do that.
Absolutely it does.
It absolutely does do that indeed.
Okay. I'll believe you for now.
Yeah, Monkey King really annoying for Ember in the lane if they want to put him there. Probably not gonna happen though. I mean, this basically makes it so Ember can't go mid, which is always open. But Ember versus Monkey mid will be a disaster. The last Shrek, that should be core, or is it? How are they laning this?
Turn to bat.
There's the Pango.
They do go for 4 of Pango.
Finally,
Finally, it comes out.
waiting for that Pango on J-Storm. Make some work. Make some stuff happen.
And that is probably a Rev Pango.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Pango's
have
a
not won
real-
with that yet at this event. Go on.
Pango's a real interesting character these days. I mean, you kind of want a bunch of stuns, you want a bunch of lockdown, but then you got somebody like Pango, who just goes in and insta-bashes and silences potentially on somebody, and then who cares about stuns and lockdown? You just kill the guy. We saw that so many times. So, good work. I don't know.
If you just get a couple levels in the J-Storm, they have decent lockdown now. Like, none of their heroes are super good to lockdown, but if Ruby gets a couple level with a change to his passive, his lift all of a sudden becomes like 3 seconds or something.
Whoa! Oh,
even longer. It's not too bad.
3 seconds.
So we're on our way to look for that mid matchup again. I mean, we don't really know where Ember's gonna go. Of course, it could be going either way. But for J Storm, the Queen of Pain last time definitely fit into the category. We've been talking a lot about what heroes Bryle likes over last when we saw them play. Bryle likes you want to see them on those active heroes. Queen of Pain fit that perfectly. She might not be the best hero herself, but Bryle makes it work.
10 seconds remaining.
So the question is, what type of hero, what hero are we going to see for him
5
this time around?
seconds remaining.
Well, he likes TA, doesn't he? Not the greatest against Lesh and Ember, though, sadly.
Yeah.
What other active heroes are there? You can just go around slaying people. There's Mirana, which is kind of active. I don't know if they play that hero, though. It seems to be an NA hero.
I'm still on the reliable stun train, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
I still want somebody. I'd even put Monkey King mid. Screw it.
You can do that too.
Dire team pick.
Yeah.
Shadow Fiend is the ban coming out from J Storm, and we are going for a Death Prophet this time on the side of J Storm.
I don't know, flashy hero then, just well-rounded. Just can get the towers. You kind of like the tower push and objective taking. So they probably got annoyed by that hero last game, so they just take it for himself. Seeing this hero being picked a lot recently.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Beneski with their last pick. They've got a lot of ways to move around. They've got a ton of magical damage. A decent amount of right click coming out too. And they're going to go with the Clinks!
Why didn't you predict that, Flag?
Wow.
The back pocket Clinks!
Alright, talk to me about Clings for a second while we have the time.
Well, he got completely reworked. Before, you always got the Death Pack, the creep, and went around picking people off. That is completely changed now, so you're more of a team fighter with the ultimate. And at the start, it was kind of bad, the ultimate, but it's been fixed now, so it does insane damage, and people underestimate how much damage it does,
So you're thinking it's a good pick here?
Yeah, if you could just keep them still and they have Ember, just change people, you have them in the ult, and pretty good. I don't mind it.
Who do you think is going to take game 2?
Who's on the Clinks team? Was that
That's
Mineski?
Beneski.
Yeah. I'm feeling Mineski. Sorry, any Dota.
Wow. I like J Storm on this one. Clinks is a powerful hero, but as Bulldog said, you gotta have some lockdown. You gotta have them stay in that area. And these heroes that they got on J Storm, they're pretty wily boys. Although I do hate Rubik. Screw it. Alright, well, J Storm.
I'm thinking that Beneski, if they lose this game, they're out, and they're not gonna take any chances. So this Clinks, it's gonna work. They believe in it, so I will believe in it, and I'm going for Beneski. But let's find out what's gonna happen here in the second game of the series with ODPixel and Gods.
Mineski versus J Storm, game 2 just about ready to start with myself, Pixel and Gods. I almost did a bit of a new hero, Clinks, being brought into the fray. Moon's going to be the one to be playing it. The panel said, Bulldog said he believes in the Clinks. This hero is something that can do a lot of damage in the right situations, but why are people not playing it? What are the downsides of bringing the Clinks into a game?
You need a player who understands the hero for one thing, and I think the big change to his ultimate, most Clinks players kind of stopped playing him because it changed the hero in a way where he's totally different. As Bulldog mentioned, he's a team fighter now. He's not this single target pick-off burst damage hero like he used to be as much. So I think a lot of people also stopped playing him because the new ultimate was garbage when it was added. They had to buff it a little bit. Now it's a lot better, but ignore it. Moon, though, level 13 on his Dota Plus. So he's a big Clinks player.
Okay, yeah, he's been spamming it.
And that to me is why, that's where Clinks can fit in. If you have a guy that understands how strong the hero is, he plays it a lot, he knows how it works, and it is still very, very viable.
Well, let's see if Moon can have a bit of a better lane than he did in game 1, where he saw him die through that 1v1 matchup.
Clink's a strong laner, and Death Prophet a hero you can kind of outrange and stay away from, so you don't, get too close for that Spirit Siphon, or if she runs at you to Spirit Siphon, you've already gotten her very low. So I imagine Moon should fare pretty well here.
See around the runes, Chase Storm will be able to get over and get the one from Mineski's Alpha map. At the same time, up top, Mineski are able to get over and take that of J Storm. So just a 2 for 2. We'll see how the lanes settle up. KP, of course, playing the caller Shrek at the moment, and he is up top. Will be backed up by the Elder Titan as they run the 2 of those against Farev's Pangolier. And once again, J Storm starting the game with an aggressive tri-lane, bringing the 3 heroes down bottom to make sure that Moon gets the good start on his Monkey King.
Yeah, this Monkey King can cause problems this game if he starts to snowball here. And lane against the Ember could be problematic for Argid if he's not careful. I imagine we will see that Sleight of Fist build, so probably going to look to play around getting last hits, securing creeps, using Sleight of Fist, and not giving the Jingu to move as much as possible.
So once a couple of levels are there, there's definite kill potential from J Storm, having these 2 sort of disabilities, the telekinesis and the ability to root from March. Can certainly hold someone down long enough to get those stacks of Jingu up.
And they are tri-lane down here, so they definitely want to try and contest Argid as much as possible. The downside of this is often that your 1v2 Pengo struggles, but Pengo's doing okay. He's got the at least wave near his tower for now. He's not getting CS, but his lane is not a complete disaster. We're seeing mid though, Clink's actually not having the best time against this Death Prophet. Moon went to lane without any regen, only brought some out after the initial bounty runes were picked up, so he's getting harassed quite heavily. Death Prophet is a very strong laning stage hero.
And obviously with this tri-lane down bottom, it's going to mean that J Storm are leaving Forever on his own up top on the Pangolier. Do you think should he be fine against these 2 heroes, or can Mineski kill him?
They shouldn't really be able to kill him if he uses and holds onto his Swashbuckler. He only dies if he gets greedy going for some last hits, or Swashbuckle's on cooldown and then he gets too close, but theoretically he gets at least experience out of this lane. The question is, whether or not your aggressive tri-lane actually can win their lane, because right now Ember has 8 last hits despite there being a tri-lane down bottom. And if you're running these tri-lanes and not, convincingly winning the lane, it's a little bit concerning.
All the supports sort of battling against one another. Pi was able to force back March, but then Fear tag teams in to sort of force Pi back.
Yep. And you've boots on Rubik, but that does not allow you to hold your ground and trade right clicks better with a Blightstone Nature's Prophet. So Nature's Prophet doesn't care about your boots. If you're hitting him, he's hitting you. If you're running away, well, he won't chase you.
We'll have the creep wave moving back into a more favourable position, J Storm. They'll do their best to play around here, try and disrupt any sort of pulling being made by Mineski.
Yeah, nice move by March. Puts the sentry there to block the stack from happening and make sure that the Ember doesn't get that pull, because the lane is pushed up very deep here, so they need to find a way to pull the lane back, and that bait camp is something that Radiant always looks to take advantage of in these kind of difficult safe lane matchups.
And Forever up top, as we say, being alone, he has managed to find 7 CS so far. Still, there will be KP less.
Use the Swashbuckle.
No trouble farming and jerseys. At any time he's used that, has to keep his distance, cannot afford to.
Tried to run at him to punish him, but he was in a good enough position. It's really this kind of cat and mouse game where Forever is going to be constantly trying to use Swashbuckle to get a last hit or 2, and then Mineski's going to try to punish.
Moo's actually able to walk down Argit and gets the 4 hits off. Just even without the disable at the start, just able to hit Argit the 4 times. So sure, the disable comes in to make sure that he can get the first blood onto Pi. But has to be careful against this Monkey King. Allowing him to get that buffer will mean that Pylai is going to be the one that feels the pain.
Yep. Good start to the aggressive trial lane down bottom. Even though the Ember was getting some CS out of this lane, you've claimed the first blood now. And with a few more levels, this should start to swing more and more into J Storm's favor. You see mid lane still very Death Prophet favored. CS-wise and the denies.
Again, bottom. To get the slam down onto Arjit.
It's fine though, it's kind of just free, couple hundred health regen. He gets the Jingu, gets some harass out of that, so he is a bit low in regen here, and the courier often being just, occupied in the mid lane, so using some mana to regen some health there, well worth it, and down the strike already back up.
You have been denied.
And we have to get some of the wave denied here. To the cap.
Nice steal.
See Moon.
Another boundless strike being used just to try to secure some of these last hits.
And we'll get a good few of just the smaller ones at least. As we're going to see what 2 for Jay Storm and 2 for Mineski.
Yep. So, as it stands, small edge for J-Storm with the first blood and the slight laning stage advantage, particularly with the mid lane going the way of the Death Prophet.
Yeah, and this bottom. 31 for 10 against the 18 for 1.
Yep. But it is a slightly similar story up top. The problem is, it's like, the hero doing well, winning their lane on Mineski's side is your 3-position Leshrac beating, out-farming the 3-position Pengo. Because it's 2v1, but as far as carries go, it's your, like a carry on Mineski's side, Ember, who's having a rough lane.
And to see March come around towards the mid lane, but Pylai has eyes on him. Trance out, and also Febby there by Moon's side. This time you can already see sort of Mineski adapting to how last game went. They want to make sure that Moon doesn't end up dying time and time again in the early 10 minutes of the match, and this time they're very reactionary and ready to keep him safe if anyone tries to make a play on him. Actually in the river though, Febby gets found out by Bryle and March. They'll look to run him down. They've got the nukes to bring him out. So that'll be Febby dead.
And his bottom lane is really tough for Arjit now. He's kind of out of mana. Monkey's been continuously supported here, even with Nature's Prophet coming back into lane. This feels like a very dangerous lane for everyone to be in, and this double Wraith Band, very aggressive item build coming out of Monkey King to try and punish even further the matchup.
KP on top, just get the run down with the Diabolic Key to get the stuff onto Feref. That'll be a kill.
Nice chase down, landing that stun. That's a solo kill, so KP making the right moves there. As
Radiant structures.
it's like Pango just got a little bit greedy, perhaps recognizing the supports have rotated off the lane, and that's where sometimes you do feel like, okay, I can get a bit more, but Leshrac level 6 with Pulse Nova has a lot of kill potential in a lane like that. KP will be going for that fast Rod of Atos.
Mid lane. Get the stomp onto Bra, but no real way to get back behind the tower. In fact, Bra does have backup. Fears there with the telekinesis onto the Elder Titan. Febby being chased by Bra. He's got one more crit swarm, not quite enough to kill him. Bro, as Febby will survive.
Very, very close. Those stick charges barely keeping him alive.
And it almost feels like they, sure, we're seeing Mineski doing a lot to sort of help get that mid in a bit of a better position, but it is, this bottom lane, it's a slow start for Arjit. He's being left alone on the Ember, and it's not an easy lane against this Monkey King. Towards the mid, the ult being used in an attempt to find Fear. Pilado's going to TP in, but Fear's already out of there. Now with the wraparound, Braille, he's going to commit with the Exorcism. Has the Siphon, stealing the life of Moon, and that's going to be Moon dead. Pilado has to go for the TP out, will manage to make it away. Braille taking a fair bit of damage here from the army, but will be able to quickly take them out of it, as that was Mineski trying to make this aggressive play, but Braille able to easily walk in with the Exorcism. As Mineski, they have to be careful about how they step forward, especially when it was only an attempt onto a Rubik's life.
Yeah, that's a big punish. Death Prophet getting the kill. Great use. Some tower damage as well. He doesn't mind taking damage because he will heal up as soon as that Exorcism wears off. And the Klink's ultimate even giving him some extra gold. He gets 20 gold per little skeleton. I think he got at least 3 of them, so more money in the bank for Braille, who's having a great series so far. His game 1 was absolutely fantastic, and once again in that mid matchup, getting the better of Moon.
Yeah, KP's going to be the one that, as we see, has had by far the greatest start for Mineski. They're going to need him to make a lot of moves around the map, and already doing his job up top. 8 minutes in, he's able to clear up the tier 1 tower with that Diabolic Edict push. and pretty much has the money for the Rod of Atos coming in very shortly. Does get the stun straight up onto Forev, but Forev still with the swashbuckle will manage to get out of there. So we'll see what sort of moves KP starts to make, as he is the driving force this game as the Lesh.
That's a crazy amount of farm. We're looking at 9-minute Rod of Atos for KP. Very, very dangerous. He can start making moves around the map, catching heroes like the Pango. You may even want to rotate to that Monkey King's lane.
Oh, and Forev does just the swashbuckle, but Mineski weren't quite able to punish him for it that time.
He'd be kind of baiting up there. It's just the Pango for now. J-Storm would much rather play around this bottom side of the map. Have allocated now the mid lane for Fear. They want their supports to start eyeing off that level 6, and Fear, with 10-minute mark approaching, even with that book, will not quite hit level 6 with where he's at right now, so...
J-Storm can at least get a deny on the tower. They'll try, but they won't get it. Moon is able to claim the final touch, get that extra bit of gold.
I like this. KP with the Atos immediately picks up a smoke. Knows that, you know, he's incredibly strong right now. No one can really escape his Atos splitter gank, so if he can find a connection on one of these key heroes like the Monkey King, this is very dangerous. But
Fair with that
what a
invis.
fortunate rune. That is so impactful.
Because this was such a big move, and now KP, he's in potential trouble. They're going to pop the exorcism, and with that, they'll easily have the damage to take him down. That was... I mean, that would have been the big move for Mineski, using this powerful Leshrac with this great Atos timing to get something done. But lo and behold, Fear being there with the Invis rune puts an end to any potential positive outcomes from that play for Mineski, as now, with the Exorcism not only getting the kill onto KP, they'll be able to take a tier 1 tower as well by the looks of it. Mineski, though, they are still trying to fight this.
Leshrac is back in 1 second. He'll be TPing bottom, I imagine.
Forev's got the Rolling Thunder. In fact, he's going to be the one to dive in under the tower. RG taking a lot of damage here. He has got the Sleight of Fist to dodge the bounce back with the Rolling Thunder, but with the Wukong's command down, they've lost the Elder Time. They've lost Pilot Eye on the Nature's Prophet. The tower's down. RG still trying to poke with the Searing Change. Forev being focused by KP as he'll run him down with the Diabolic Edict. They'll get a kill, but Mineski lose 2 heroes and the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they had to commit their entire team down there just to get the 1 kill on the Pango. And the second, Leshrac TP's down there after respawning. Yeah, you get that 1 kill on Pango for it, but J-Storm's already swinging to the mid lane and the top lane. And suddenly Leshrac's down there with Ember, and your KP's like, well, we've defended, they've backed off, now I got to go somewhere else on the map. So it's not a very efficient play coming out of Mineski. And unfortunately for them, I mean, it's such an unlucky Invis rune that for them that Rubik picks up, because that would have been a great way. A surprise Atos comes out, you initiate on Monkey King, you burst him down at the tier 1 tower while your team TP's in. That would have been like a 3-0 Mineski team fight win, I think. But
and you wouldn't have been losing that tier 1 tower.
Absolutely.
If you were able to pull off that play.
But that's how Dota works sometimes, and J-Storm are going to be smiling about that one.
Well, try for Moo. They do get the lockdown with the Atos into the stuns. Moo misses the boundless strike as well. That'll be a dead Monkey King.
Yeah, I mean, Mineski understand KP needs to get involved. It was a secondary smoke usage. The one bottom didn't work. This time around, they smoke all the way from bottom to top. And I talked about KP TPing in bottom and not having anywhere to go. That's why he's like, well, I got to get out of this lane. This is Ember's lane. I'm going to just run across the entire map with my support smoked up and chase this Monkey King down. Leshrac is the hero that can cause Monkey all kinds of problems at this stage of the game.
Yeah, Moo, of course, getting that preferential treatment in the laning stage, being part of that tri-lane, they get him into a good place. But yeah, if KP can continue to just catch him out, that will slow down sort of the big, powerful core that J-Storm have at the moment. Brawl isn't going to get hit by the Echo Stomp, and in fact, J-Storm, they're ready to chase as KP's being followed by the Rolling Thunder. Nature's comes in, bursting Fear down low the Earth, but not enough to catch out Bryle. As J-Storm will be able to avoid losing anyone there to Mineski's attempt to make a play around the tier 2.
Great job by KP, juking the Rolling Thunder. A Pango player himself, he understood kind of how to position and run up that ramp so that the Pango couldn't bounce onto him. If he got hit by that stun once more, it would have been his death, and That's the leading net worth hero. That is a big kill if J-Storm can get it. In the end, J-Storm rotate in and don't find any kills, and they are trailing about 1,000 gold right now. Argent has managed to maintain some decent farm and item progression despite the pressure on him in that trial lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still 1k lead at the moment for Mineski.
Roots and run.
They'll be able to keep the pressure on down bottom. Pilot Eye straight in with the treants. Pressuring this tier 1 tower. Bryle and March are heading down. Nature's Wrath will give up that they spot out Bryle, and Pilot Eye is already TPing away. Doesn't want to be caught out, and he won't be. He's able to be out there before any potential.
Job done. I mean, his job, he wasn't expecting a tower. He was hoping for TP rotations, and he got them. That gives the whole Mineski side a lot of info. They now know, where J-Storm are on the map. They know some of these TPs are on cooldown, and as a result, they can play a lot more aggressive around this middle and top side of the map. Can they catch the Pengo? That is going to be the big question here. Leshrac is nearby with an Atos.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Perhaps got to be careful about getting baited in.
top tower.
Doesn't look like he'll fall for it. Mid lane J-Storm pushing once again with the Exorcism. And that stolen Diabolic Edict. Fear able to add that extra bit of damage onto the tower. Mineski, I've got 3 heroes here trying to do something in reaction.
Top tower is under attack.
So doesn't look like they'll be able to do it before the tower falls. Does J-Storm get the
Straight up
tower?
top.
Bryle's going to TP out. See up top
Defending
lane.
up here.
Bryle, the remainder of that Exorcism will be able to push Pilot Eye and KP back.
He doesn't have much left on it, but the good news with TPing in with not much left on it is that you're going to be healing up very soon. So he can take that Leshrac damage and then heal himself back up as bounty runes are spawning, and it does look like it's going to be a slight menace. No, it's going to be 2 apiece. No, 3-1. J-Storm actually able to sneak in the enemy side, so J-Storm get themselves a few more bounty runes.
Or Moon, he steps in, but the sentry's down. Fear and Moon prepared.
Pretty common sentry place, and Moon just getting a bit too ambitious and bold with some of his rotations around the map there, running into those heroes of the bounty rune, hoping to snag it for himself.
And interestingly, the build at the moment that Moo has queued up, he has got that Battle Fury that he's going to be looking to build towards after the Echo Saber on the Monkey King. Help him deal with the deep push, able to clear out the treants and the waves, and of course keep him in this position where he'll be expecting to stay at the top of the network, have this farming potential that's going to be very hard for heroes like this Ember, Clinks and Lesh to catch up and keep on pace with, unless Mineski are consistently finding objectives and kills.
I'm a little bit surprised to see this. I don't think it's bad by any means. He is like the hero, the team's main scaling right-click physical damage, and they will have some pushing issues. But Monkey King spells clear waves pretty effectively. But I think Moo just decided, we need a hero that's going to scale a bit better in the late game, and they don't trust in their ability to end this game fast. Mineski, we saw last game able to drag the game out, and I think that's where J-Storm's like, well, if they're going to drag another game out, may as well get a battle here on Monkey King.
That's Moo. In the trees, down bottom, you will see the Ember. Two away of one another mid lane. Forever, he tries to get the Rolling Thunder off to go for Pi, but he can't do so in time. The physical damage from Moon. Enough to kill off the Pango before he can make any sort of further play. Moo continues to be careful down bottom. He's got a fair bit of money saved up. That 1,800 gold. Does want to try and get that Demon Edge bought up before he is in sort of a risky position. In fact, jumping onto RJ. RJ, of course, more than prepared with the Remnant out.
Yep. Just trying to scare him off the lane. And then we'll see him immediately bounce around the trees. The second you show on the map as Monkey, got to assume that it's going to be heroes maybe running towards you, since you are one of those big prized kills. But Monkey has now overtaken Leshrac in terms of farm. KP trying to give a bit more space to the Ember, as well as Clinks on the team, and go for some of these kills, but the end result is that there has been a little bit of a fall off for him. See what J-Storm's next big move is going to be.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, that Pengo ultimate does give them some ways to take a team fight if they so choose, but on just one side of the map while giving up the other side to the other team.
Let's see if they can find Pi.
Yep.
Prev rolls in, Pi. Just goes for
Shoots
the
it.
straight walk up to the north. Let's go for the Cell Sprout, but the bounce is continuing. Pi ain't getting out.
Jukes the initial roll, but this wasn't really a good escape for him anyways. Kind of his role is historically been the case. Pile Die playing that selfless support, dying for the cause a bit, trying to push out farm in the risky lane where it's like, well, no one in my team's going to be here anyway, so I might get some farm, and if I die, not a big deal.
And there's not really a better hero to do that on than the Prophet. Every time he's up, he's just instantly going to be able to get out there in a position where none of the other teammates can get to. Let's move. He's got his eyes on KP. He's going to jump down, browse down the side as well with the Siphon and the Boundless Strike. KP's gone. Can't get a single spell out.
This monkey now has all these levels, does a lot of damage, and they're not done.
They're going to find a second. It's Febby. Run down by Forev. 2 kills for J Storm, picked up. And I mean, at this pace, minutes in 10-4, where it's very even, you've got to look towards the Monkey King. And with that Battle Fury coming online very, very soon, J Storm are going to be pretty happy with the position that they're in.
Yeah, I mean, the fact they've got all these different hero killing combos. It's the 2 cores, the Death Prophet, and the Monkey King who kill off the Leshrac, and then it's the Pengo who has a solo kill potential system. So they can make these rotations now to maybe try and focus getting some towers.
Another time down bottom, Pi tries to go for the solo pushing, and he will get quickly dispatched off.
Yeah, as much as it's kind of his role at times, the deaths do add up in some way. No, unfortunately, will not get that bounty ring. He was hoping to make a play for it, but realized it was a little bit too dangerous. Very quiet game for the Clinks so far.
I was going to say, it slowed down a lot for Moon. He's not been finding too much.
He's 0, 2, and 2. He hasn't really been in the action at all, so to speak. Has the basic medallion into Dragonlance items. Does a lot of single target physical damage with this.
Up top, they find KP this time. They get the jump out, and on the way back, he's not going to be able to run away from these 3. Forever, Brian, and Moon.
It's been really tough for KP. It just feels like wherever he goes to farm or push out the lane, he's kind of on his own, and Clinks isn't able to fight. Somebody needs like a BKB or something kind of early if you want to fight, it feels like. Until Clinks has that.
They're hunting.
Oh, they clipped him.
They did. They got him with the dust. He's trying his best to run Moon. There's the Boundless Strike from Moo, allowing them to have that little bit of lockdown to buy time for Fear to come in with the telekinesis. Up in the air goes Febby as he'll get sucked down by the Siphon. Tries to get a stomp off, but the silence there as well. J Storm pick up 3 more kills. They'll now head towards the Roshan pit. As this game, it's being played at a pace that doesn't seem to do much for Maneski's heroes. The fact that J Storm are being able to control the way that this game has played out in the first 20 minutes has meant that they just have a much greater outlook as this game goes on.
J Storm's making better map movements. That's really what we're seeing here. Their rotations are absolutely fantastic. They're not overcommitting too many resources anywhere. They're, sending just enough heroes to the right lane to find these kills.
Nudge it! He walks into the river!
That's
He didn't expect them to be there. The whole team just collapses onto him.
Maneski's kind of crumbling. They're just falling apart. One by one, they're getting picked. We've seen KP die back-to-back in the top lane. We've seen support gets picked off. The Clinks got chased down after being clipped by a dust. No one of this Maneski team has really stepped up. It's like they lack a leader or a voice to, get everyone on the same page right now. Moon's running around alone as a Clinks. He has no kill potential. As a solo Clinks, you can't play alone. This isn't like the old school Clinks with Death Pack playing a pub game. And even that old school Clinks, you couldn't play that style in pro games either. Maneski need to be more on the same page right now.
And now it's really going to hurt them, the fact that Moo has the Battle Fury complete 22 minutes, and it's not like a Battle Fury rush. He has that phase Echo Saber and double Wraith Bands, so he's got this great combination of being able to farm and being able to fight. He can pretty much deal with whatever Maneski sends at him. Unless he gets caught out alone, does have the Aegis Stone by the tower. There would definitely be a reaction from J Storm. So again, just very hard for Maneski to do anything. Moon's under a sentry.
He may go fight with the Sages. He's got some backup, but I don't know if it's enough. He needs a few more heroes who are still at Fountain. The Pangolier is walking his way out to the lane.
I mean, what do Mineski do? I mean, what is the thing that their lineup can achieve at this point?
Their playmaker is still this Leshrac with the HOS. They need to play around that better. Seeing KP, like the 2 deaths were when he went to push out a lane. As much as your Leshrac is the most farmed and is one of the best heroes you have on your team at pushing out lanes, you need to use Leshrac more as a playmaker. Nice dodge by
Mules up into the air, but KP's going to get surrounded. Jumping in, Frev has the Rolling Thunder to lead in onto the Leshrac. Boundless Strike down onto the 2 of them. That's going to be KP dead. And now with the BKB holds down the Elder Titan as J Storm continuing to win fight after fight. Frev still alive. Sleight of Fist and Chase does come out, and with the Remnant, Arjit will be able to pick up a second. But back deep on the half of Mineski's map, J Storm just chased down another Moo with the double kill. This Monkey King getting well and truly out of control.
Yep. I can imagine Death Prophet thought that was going to be an easy survive with the False Promise. Normally Death Prophet's one of those heroes that gets tons of heals during it because you've got the Spirit Siphon and the Purifying Flames. But he actually lost health and got down pretty low. But J Storm come out convincingly on top, even though Arjit gets a couple of backline kills. Kills off March and then chases down the Pengo, who couldn't quite get off another swashbuckle, but a 4-for-2 trade, and more importantly, J Storm just with a lot of map control right now.
It just seems the way that J Storm's been addressing these games has been ideal. The way that they know if they give Moo this great start, he is absolutely this consistent player they can rely on. Wukong's command's going to get laid down towards the mid. They've got the trap onto KP. Mech's going to be popped, but it's not going to be enough to keep KP safe as KP will fall once again. Another kill for J Storm, another kill for Moo. As this Monkey King just continues to go from success to success. A silence onto Arjit. Arjit, he's not getting out either, or is he? No, he cannot. More glory as a swashbuckle and Moo. He wants the glory and he'll get it. 8-1 and 8. Honestly, the games we've seen from J Storm, Moo, he's back on this level of performance that we saw in the past, sort of that DC era at TI. This is Moo at his best.
Yeah, Moo is looking fantastic this tournament. What we've seen him since the group stage, J Storm, they had a rough group stage. They finished last in their group. They, I think, only won 1 game out of 5 that they played. And this J Storm here in the lower bracket has been fantastic, crushing their best of 1 against Na'Vi, and right now looking very convincing in this game too. And unlike game 1 where they had this big lead and were kind of snowballing, there isn't really the best comeback potential in Mineski's draft. There was a Morphling who didn't have good answers in game 1. This time around, Clinks isn't that scary comeback carry. Ember Spirit, he's a good high ground defender, but he's not this hero that's going to scale and necessarily carry the game the same way a Morphling does.
I mean, I really don't know about this Ember Spirit hero. I feel like we've seen this hero suffer so many times in these games. It feels like one of those heroes that pros are valuing a little more than maybe it's worth. As I can't remember the more recent games, it's just been Ember Spirit losing.
Great glyph. They keep their siege creep alive. They want to go back in. Brile did take a lot of damage though.
Look at the Yules up dodging the Boundless Tribe of Brazil, now committing with the BKB. Just forcing Mineski back away from the Raxis. Forev goes in with the Rolling Thunder, bouncing around the 3 of them. Shield Crash and a swashbuckle down onto Pylai Die. Forev is falling a little low, starting to tank the towers, but he has that damage resistance from the Shield Crash. Moo's going to lay down the Wukong's command, secure this area, make sure that they can take this melee Rax away.
It's going to be close.
Moo should have it. The question is if Mineski can make them pay in terms of lives. Moo, though, Boundless strikes straight out onto Moon. Moon on the front lines. He's just dead. The clicks behind the tree, and Moo will be able to jump away. So, sure, J Storm, they lose a couple of heroes, but they got the job done. They get that melee Rax.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Getting our melee racks at this stage of the game. We're not that early on in the game. We're at 27 minutes in, but it's a lot of pressure now. That bottom lane is going to be continuously pushing out. And again, this one hero, it's really, the Lesh is their main lane deep push, but he's also their initiating playmaker. So Leshrac doesn't want to be showing on the map to push these lanes, but kind of has to be. And J Storm will now be poised to perhaps secure the next Roshan with that lane pressure down bottom. If they just spend the next few minutes, getting some map presence, pushing out both mid and top lane, get some wards down, they'll set themselves up in a position to find more pickoffs, to take next Roshan, and it's up to Mineski. to find some way to stop that from happening. They just need to get some of these heroes in the game. Absolute non-factor. This was their last pick, their X-Factor hero that they thought was going to be, you know, like a gotcha kind of pick, and Moon 05
Is under attack.
has been invisible
I
this
mean,
game.
at this rate, it is going to be their last pick here at the Major. As this game too, not looking great for Maneski as Jay Storm. It's so much harder to do than compared to the Morphling that he was on in game 1, where we did see that chance from Maneski